Hey everyone, Ekman here with another video, and today we're just going to go over kind of like a reaction to a huge announcement that Bandai made pretty late as usual. It's like midnight here on a Thursday night, going into a Friday morning. It's like the last day of November, and we have 1 week until OPO5 comes out here in North America, and they make this huge announcement. And also, this is kind of just off the cuff. I do have like a couple like analytic slides towards the end, but also I will be streaming December 1st, so like pretty close after this. We're gonna do a huge like OPO5 playtesting stream, and I'll probably talk about more of my thoughts going into it and see what you guys are talking about then too. So if you guys want to check that out, highly recommend following here on YouTube and on Twitch, because I'll be live on both and gonna just go over the restriction list. But we'll make this video right now, and so they kind of already mentioned that the restriction list that we got at the end of October, we will be lifting with the release of OPO5, but they did the super duper unrestriction. So not only is it like the Nami and the Den and stuff, but it's also Rad Beams at 4, New Gates at 1, the 9-drop New Gate is there, 4 Curly to Dance, and Marco's, both of them are at 4 copies each. So pretty big change for the card game for us, and that also means that we are the same exact meta that Japan has for OPO5, which I honestly don't know what I feel about right now. I will say that I don't think red is the the color as it was in the last 3 sets. I think set 2, 3, 4, red was the best color, and it was pretty evident. At least to me, that was my opinion based on the data and the tournaments that we ran and everything else. And I think that is pretty clear that it's not as not doing as well in Japan right now. And so on the I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm interested to see how it does here in North America, but I'm also a little upset that we're having essentially the start of our meta is exactly the same as where Japan is right now. And Japan's meta doesn't seem so healthy in end of OPO5, which is my opinion. And I haven't had a lot of data for this. I've been looking for it, and it hasn't been as good, as well documented as like OPO4 was in Japan. But I do have a couple data points for that in general. But if you guys want your clip and my own thoughts, it's fine. I'm looking forward to testing and seeing what happens the next couple weeks. But I do have like a suspicion that I think that North Americans really like to play the deck that's winning, and I feel like more times in like Asia, people like to play like the newer stuff or like to like play with new things. And so because of that, I have like a slight fear that that Newgate is going to be very good in OP05, and people are just going to be grinding that leader still, despite it just being older, just because it does well. So I don't know. That's a fear. It's nothing that I'm going to be. It's just going to be like in the back of my mind. Is that going to, if that's going to happen or not? But if not, that's fine. I do think that's fine. But I also will say that I'm not super excited for what the format that I'm seeing at the end of OPO5 in Japan right now, which is mostly a lot of people playing Sakazuki and Purple Luffy, which is cool that they're two different leaders and two different entire mechanics and stuff, but they're doing very, very well at the end of it. I think people have figured out how the deck works, and both of them kind of have some cards they can take advantage with their leader effects and kind of do very well with those. So my kind of points of context for that, we have Noah here, who has a lot of information on the Asian meta, and I really a very invaluable resource to me. So make sure to check them out. I'm going to have links to their Twitter and their YouTube in the description. Highly recommend following them. They have event breakdowns. They do live streams of some of the flagship stuff out there, and championship series. Really, really great resource for me. I personally use it very often. So, but they had 6 huge events in OPO5. I believe like the last 2 or 3 had the Uta Star Deck legal, which was something new, but you can tell it's not very impactful. Where we can see like they have these tops, and then with part of them too, they have the leaders that we're getting there. So Sakazuki like started off pretty tame. It did win 5 of the 6 of these, but like the first one, there's only 1 in Singapore, and then Thailand, it had 3 in their top 6, 7 in their top 16, 6, 8, 9. So you can see that Sakazuki ended up doing very well at the end of the Japanese format, which is again the exact same card pool that we will be having outside of the Uta film star deck. And then Purple Luffy doing very well as well, topping every one of these events, and then not winning one of them. Katakuri just sneaking in. I don't know what is up with Aichi, but it did just get 5 in the top 16, and then one of them did end up winning it, which is really interesting. But we don't see any, like we see Red Green Law get a couple of tops, including Singapore, like at the beginning of the meta, I think, which makes sense because it's, at day 1, people will play the deck that is just very, very strong at that first day. And then after that, they'll be going into what they, people will find the more optimal list for the other things, and they'll kind of go from there. So kind of looks like red green law kind of tapered off a little bit. Zoro kind of the same way, I would think, with the occasional tops here and there. Nami getting a top, red purple law getting a top, green Uta getting a top. I guess it's the last four. I should have just looked at the thing, and then like a red purple Luffy. So honestly, it looks like these two are just gonna reign supreme at least day one. We'll see if that's true or not. But yeah, and then five of these six of these huge like what 1,400 people, two of them, one of them Sakazuki, one of the other one Katakuri one, and then every one of these several hundred person events that Sakazuki won. So I think that's really telling. So I again like that just means that it looks like red's not a problem in OP5, and I can accept that, and I think that's fine. So we're gonna see if that's the thing. But I also wonder if it's just because people aren't playing Newgate as much. And the reason I say that, there's another Twitter user I highly recommend. We have Ophirata, who has a lot of like data and data analysis for Japan. They use more Japanese, but I can translate a little bit of it. I've been working on my Japanese, and obviously with pictures it does help. So like this is Sakazuki. So this is for the last event. This is for Hiroshima. They had a championship series, and so obviously Sakazuki won that one with 9 in the top 16. But like the full breakdown of leaders of the 700 people who are playing it. There are 229, so about a third of the room. One in every 3 people were playing Sakazuki, and then Katakuri. There were 156, but I don't think no Katakuri's top 16. Purple Luffy's 100 people on that, which is what they got 6 in the top 16. And then honestly, look at this pie chart. It's 9-6-1. We had 16. Only 3 leaders were represented. 1 Zoro, 6 Luffy, and 9 Sakazuki, which is a little disgusting there. But and then we have the rest here based on it. So we have like some Manels, we had some red purples, we had some Utsus, we had 20 people. Just under 20 people on the Whitebeard, and 18 people on Zoro, one of them getting that top 16, and then kind of the rest of the split from there. So that's kind of the data based on that. So all I'm trying to say is that not a lot of people are on red in OPO5, and so I'm not sure if that's just people not wanting to play the decks because most of them are not new, or it's not good, right? It's usually one or the other, right? And then additionally, we have they have like the win rate by leader, which is really interesting information. So this is Zoro, or sorry, this is Trafalgar Law, this is Newgate, and this is Rebecca. So all 3 of these, even though they had low win rate, low representation, they had a really high win rate per leader, which is really interesting. So like Newgate specifically had a close to 60% win rate based on their matches, based on the leaders. And then we had Uta pretty close up there. We had the purple Luffy here, and then Sakazuki, and then I believe this is a Nell. Yeah, this is a Nell right here. So and then it kind of tapers off after that. So because this is Katakuri right here, and this is Kaido right here. So kind of going from it. So again, this is Trafalgar Law, this is Newgate, this is Rebecca, this is Uta, this is Purple Luffy, and this is Sakazuki and Enel. So pretty much the idea with this chart is just showing that, based on like people like the games, and it could just be, again, like less people are on it. So the people who are on it are very good with the deck compared to if people are playing like the good deck, as in the Sakazuki. There's going to be a lot of people who are not great with it, but the deck carries them, but they also lose sometimes. I don't know. What I'm just saying is that it looks like red was doing very well, even though like a lot of people weren't on it. On these 2 specifically, we have Zoro right here, by the way, in case you're wondering on that one. So that's kind of where that is. And red purple Luffy here, Izo, is this Isu? I'm not sure who that one is, but like that's kind of like the idea for this. So I don't know. I know this is just kind of a big ramble and just looking at some facts based on like the meta that we're actually going into, but I think it's fine. It's going to be interesting to see if red's even that powerful or not. It's either going to be like not present, or it's going to be super present in my mind, where people will find out, oh, Newgate's still really good in this meta. And I don't think that's probably true, but it could be true. I think could be a lot of good matchups, and it just depends. Like, I honestly haven't done a lot of testing as Newgate because I thought it was gone for a bit, and I'm not a Newgate player. But with Sakazuki and Purple Luffy, if it has a good matchup against one of these, it's probably going to be pretty good in the format. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what it is. I know I've been rambling a lot. I want to know what you guys think about this too. I do highly recommend following these people on Twitter. invaluable information for me. I really do appreciate them and all they do. So I thank you again for both these, for Noah, as well as Ophirata for their data and stuff. So they have a lot more. These are just kind of 2 pinpoints. It's kind of showing off the end of their meta too. But it's interesting. I'm not going to say I'm super surprised with it, but I am surprised we're getting the exact same meta that they're getting. And I honestly, like, from the rumblings I don't have a lot of contacts of people who play the meta in Asia in general. But a lot of the people, the few people I do talk to, they're saying, man, Sakazuki is very good, Purple Luffy is very good, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's true here in North America, if we're able to make the adaptation, or if it's just going to be kind of running rampant, and that's kind of what the meta is going to look like. So anyways, that's going to be this video for me. I appreciate you guys making it this far. I know I've been rambling a lot. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. I'm really interested to hear that. And then make sure to check out my live stream tomorrow, today, December 1st, 10 a.m. my time, so 9 a.m. EST or PST, noon EST. It's going to be a longer stream, so I'm going to be live pretty much all day. So that's the plan there. But that's going to be it for the video. I do appreciate it, and I'll catch you all next time.